What is up, guys? JaretCampisi. Welcome back to the channel. You're probably wondering why I'm sitting in my house right now. Well, that's because I'm about to head down to Santa Barbara Ducati and they're gonna start disassembling the bike for the exhaust that has finally arrived. Take a look at this bad boy. So this is the exhaust for the bike. I'm not gonna tell you what it is just yet. We will do the unboxing in the next episode, but in this episode, we're just gonna go ahead and get all the stock exhaust uninstalled, and then it'll be ready for that bad boy, which will happen in the next episode. Teens is gonna have to be staying here because she is not feeling well. She had what I just had, a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, I've been saying this my third day now.
Look at her, the little muffin. Drop her some love in the comment section below. Let's go saddle up this Xdiavel and head on down to the Ducati shop. Two things. People have been asking a lot about my jacket and my GoPro setup in my past couple of videos, so I'll just show you. This jacket actually is just like a prototype. My buddy Phil, if you've seen him in my other videos, he gave it to me. It doesn't even have a name or anything. It's not available, you can't buy it. My buddy gave this to me, this was his for a couple of years, so it was broken in and everything like that, like you just can't get them. So unfortunately, I can't recommend you guys the company that made this jacket because I don't know who it is. And then the other thing is my GoPro setup. So I actually still use the Hero 4 Silver, and the reason I use that is because on the back of it you can put the Sena Bluetooth backpack, and that is what actually allows this to connect wirelessly to my Sena 20S, and my Sena 20S has a microphone in there, and then it'll use that microphone and it'll record directly onto my GoPro. So that way I don't need any wires with my setup. It's super clean. And then also anyone who intercoms with me, so when I do videos with Christina or 650 or anyone that I might collab with, anyone who's intercom with us, it'll put their audio onto the GoPro as well. That way I don't have to do like 18 million cuts and stuff in post-processing. It's actually kind of sad with the new GoPros. You have to have those huge freaking connections on the side of them if you want to have wired connections, and this is the only way to do it wirelessly with the GoPro, so I'm sticking with the Hero 4, still 1080 by 60, which is plenty good enough for me. So let's hop on the bike and head down to Santa Barbara Ducati. So I also wanted to mention, if you're new to the channel, if you don't understand what's going on here, this is a project build series bike. It's a community funded build that we do through a website called Patreon. Anyone who donates over there on that website is actually entered to win these projects when we're done. This is also our first ever worldwide motorcycle build series, which means not only will we be giving away this Custom Xdiavel when we're done, we will also choose a second grand prize winner, and they will get a bike of their choice anywhere they are in the world. So, you know, details on how all that works is always the first link in the description below. It's just patreon.com/Campisi Customs. Just to give you a quick recap, if you missed the dyno episode, in full stock trim, this bike did 140 horsepower to the wheel and 83 foot-pounds of torque. I think after the full titanium system, the high flow filter, and the racing up map, we can get this bad boy to around 150 horsepower or more. And we also want to try to get it under 500 pounds. It was 543 pounds in stock trim, and I think we can shave off about 40 pounds, which would make this one of the lightest, fastest cruisers in the world, and it's going to be a beast when we're done. We finally got a sunny day here in Santa Barbara. It's actually been raining, which doesn't happen very often, but we certainly need it. If you've seen the fires that happen in California all the time, it's because we've been having such extreme drought out here. So yeah, I'm gonna head down to Santa Barbara Ducati and I'll check in with you guys when we get there. So we have arrived at Santa Barbara Ducati. I always like to take a look and see what bikes they have out here, because it's just, I love Ducatis. Panigale, that looks like an 899. They got a Street Fighter, some Monsters, Vespas. I think that's John's Panigale we had before. Here's the boys. What up, Trevor? What up, Johnny? So I realized this will be the last time that we'll have the stock exhaust on the bike, so I figured why not give you guys a final sound of the exhaust. Let you guys hear it in stock form. It's a good looking exhaust, and it actually sounds good. It's just a little bit quiet for my taste. So Ducati Xdiavel 2019 stock exhaust. Give you some revs here. So it sounds pretty good for a stock system, but let me tell you, when we throw this other exhaust on, it's going to be beautiful. Check it out, they got a tricolore here too. How cool is that? I've always loved the tricolore paint schemes because it almost looks like war paint. If you see it right there, look at that. So freaking badass. And they just put a Termi exhaust on this 1299, or Jesus, Monster 1200 I think it is. And looks really nice. I was saying, I don't know why they make those Termi pipes so big, because it covers up a single-sided swing arm. I feel like they should make them smaller, or Trevor said, or even like wrap them around through there and like up top or something, but they still look really nice and they sound so good. And check this out, guys. They have an MV Agusta F4 1000. Look at that thing. These exhaust pipes are always so cool. Actually, the designer of the motorcycle designed those to be similar to like a musical instrument. So they wanted the exhaust sound to be like really musical, and they do have quite a unique sound. But look at that thing, dude. De La Mondo edition. Whew, that thing is sick. All right, Fatty's going up on the lift. It won't be fat for too much longer. I think the Termi system saves, oh, I know I just said what it was, but I think it saves 10 pounds, 10 to 12 pounds. So yeah, this huge freaking exhaust that has a catalytic converter and all that steel will be gone. Full titanium, baby. All right, so as I mentioned, we're gonna be removing the stock exhaust here today. He's gonna start with the belly pan, and Trevor mentioned the first thing you wanna do anytime you're messing with exhausts or any type of, well, pretty much anything electronics on bikes, you wanna make sure that you disconnect the battery. Is it the positive lead, or are you gonna disconnect the whole thing?
We're gonna take the whole battery out just for access.
Okay, cool. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start taking apart the belly panel here, get that battery apart, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we got the belly panel off. Next, he's gonna get the battery undone. He mentioned always take the negative lead off first. Just gonna move that up out of the way. So next step, popping some springs off of the pipes over here. We gotta take this guy off, and then he's gotta get inside there to take the muffler off. I searched and realized that no company actually makes a full system for this bike. So the Termi system is titanium, but it's still technically a slip-on. So we actually don't have to take this header pipe off, which is good news because that's really stuffed in there. We also don't have to get up to that one either, which is somewhere in there, right there. So not as much to take apart, but still like anything with Ducatis, quite a bit of tight spaces. The one-time tight spaces aren't a good thing, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna take the foot pegs off next. Trevor actually noticed they were a little bit loose there from the factory. Come on, Ducati. Because we got to get inside there to get the bolt off of the main header pipe there, since we're gonna be swapping her on out. He's got a big old swivel, Dado style swivels we got going on down here. So there it is. That's the
the main bolt that holds the whole catalytic
shebang on. Okay, that's an important one. Should have got that in titanium. All right, more disassembly. What part is this?
This is a suspension canister.
Suspension canister. Very nice. Next, we're taking that little first part of the heat shielding for the header pipe there off. And again, this is all just to get some sort of space so that we can finally pull this big honkin' stock system off of here. And then Trevor actually said they have scales so we can weigh everything. Not only am I have the stock bike weight of the entire bike, so we'll do before and after as well on the whole bike build, but I think it's cool to weigh individual parts as well to see what kind of a difference it makes. So I'm thinking at least 10 pounds, maybe more, we'll see. So there you go, that's the little spring we were looking for, which is holding on the exhaust. Is there just one of those, or is there one on the other side too? Looks like it's just one, right? That's what we were looking for right there.
That's it.
Nice. Alright, so what's going on here, Trevor?
It has a Torx, where everyone else was an Allen, this is a Torx. And at some point someone used an Allen through the Torx, and so it's kind of boogered.
Of course. Maybe we can just find an Allen to replace that with.
Well, that will go away with this.
Oh, that's right. Okay, good. Ducati. This is the stuff Ducati does. This is what they like to do. Just random stuff. Trevor was saying when he used to race for Ducati, he used to ask them these questions, and he didn't get good answers. So, again, we're not going to be using any of this, but the reason he's trying to get in there is because he wants to undo the line for the servo motor, which we're not going to need anymore. So we still need to get it open. So are you going to drill into it?
Yes.
Drill it, baby.
Drill the head off, and it'll be fine.
And there she goes. Perfect. Good work, sir.
Okay.
That's what we needed.
You can see the servo motor
Yeah,
in there.
that's what we needed. Goodbye to that.
Gentle persuader.
So next step, we're gonna try and see if we can get that stock muffler removed. It's moving around right now, but it's not quite coming off. Yeah, so we're gonna see if we can get some persuasion on this bad boy. We are not able to get that off with how it is right now, so we're actually gonna remove the bottom panel here to gain access to some bolts up here so we can loosen this entire header pipe, which will allow us to get enough movement that we can pull that thing off. We don't wanna, you know, even though we're not gonna reuse it, we still don't wanna beat it up too badly, even though it is a big hunk of junk. But that's what we're doing now, taking more stuff apart. All right, so we have to take off a little bit more stuff than we realized since we need to loosen that header pipe, as I mentioned. They even want us to loosen the oil cooler, and we're gonna slide that a little bit forward because we need to get all the way up through there into the header bolts, which is gonna be pretty intense. This is a lot of work for a slip-on. I'm not gonna lie, which doesn't surprise me since it's a Ducati. So same deal on the other side. We got to move a bunch of the electronics out of the way, including the fuse boxes and things. And Trevor was showing me we got to go way up in there.
Come up inside here
Look
to
at
get
that.
to the bolt that holds the head pipe to the head.
Oh my God, Ducati, why? So we are still removing pieces right now to get to these header bolts. This piece just came out, there's a plastic piece here. Next, we're taking off this entire metal heat shielding piece, and then I believe we'll be able to get to most of the bolts, I think. So those are the little bolts right there. There's 1, 2, I think there's 3 of them, so we're very close. So next thing we're doing is loosening up the servo valve motor, like cords and things like that, because right now it's pretty tight, so that when this thing drops out we don't want it breaking things in there and stuff like that. So loosening that up, getting it ready to be taken out, and that'll be removed completely anyway. So whew, quite a bit involved in this. All right, starting to loosen up the headers here. So unfortunately, in order to get that third header bolt, we have to drop this whole thing down, and in order to drop that down, we have to remove the oil cooler. So he just unhooked that bad boy. We're gonna let it drain a little bit, then we can move it out of the way, drop this down. This is just for a slip-on, by the way. All of this is for a slip-on exhaust. Unbelievable. So we finally ended up dropping that entire panel down so you could get to that front third header bolt. And now we're finally getting some wiggle room there. You can see it starting to wiggle out here. Yep, you're almost there. It's moved about ½ inch now. And then we're gonna drop this thing down finally. All right, so we finally got this thing off. Look at the size of this thing. Trevor's a big guy, and that is quite an exhaust. Holy shit. Are we gonna weigh that? Let's weigh that thing. Look at all that space under there now. Holy hell. So that's where the Termi system will get plugged into everything. Get plugged in right up there and right there. And it's gonna look beautiful. All right, so we got this thing on the scale. 22 pounds. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. 22 pounds. Holy Lord. So we'll weigh the Termi system once we unbox it in the next episode. I still can't get over the size of that freaking exhaust system. So next episode, we'll be unboxing the Termi system and getting it installed. Again, you can see how freaking insane, how much space there is now. That is crazy. So it's gonna save at least 10 pounds, probably add at least 10 to 12 horsepower. So I'm super excited. Trevor, thank you for your hard work, brother. We appreciate it. Again, if you guys want to be entered to win this bad boy, check out the Patreon page. If you enjoy what we're doing here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, and we'll see you guys in the next one.